I don't know how much I can talk about this topic today, but I'll try to talk a little bit about the topic I want to talk about. Here we are out at Mr. Pig Officer, your average cop that covers his name tag and his badge number with anything that they can find, have any excuse to do it. Let's see here. Today I wanted to talk to you about walking into a courtroom. You know, they like to say, well, if you don't consent, then why'd you show up? Why'd you appear? And then you know, they leave out the part where they threatened you that if you didn't appear to their little arbitrary prosecution, that they would come after you and use like threats of violence, handcuffs, detainment, cages, everything, even down to the fact that you can't even make your own ramen. But at the same time, I want to talk about going into a courtroom because they fully have been loving to threaten us and then actually use force against us to make good on those threats, putting us in their dungeons. But now the reason why I want to talk about entering into a courtroom today is more about the lawyer side of it, where you know, we're getting a bunch of feedback. We're claiming to want freedom, rights, which it really translates into prosperity. But the only problem is that would be prosperity for the people and not for Mr. Snoutface right here. The thing about it is that you're gonna walk into we know that this stuff has to do with fraternal orders. We know that this stuff has to do with secret societies, because I'll tell you something, when you walk into a courtroom with a lawyer, they instantly tell themselves that, oh, look at him, he can't speak for himself. Look at, he needs a lawyer to speak for him. He can't speak for himself. They don't tell you that they internally say this in their heads. They just do it, but you know, they're not going to tell you, or they're not going to tell the public that they're doing this open, and they're not going to tell you outright that they're doing this. But okay, so you walk into the courtroom with a lawyer. Instantly, the judge and the prosecution says, "Look at him. He can't even speak for himself. He's like an infant. He's like a child. He must not even be 21 because he needs somebody else to speak for him." They don't tell you that they feel this way about you when you walk in with a lawyer, but this is just, you know, this is some secret society shit. So then you do walk in with a lawyer, and they look at you like you're an infant at law, like that you can't even comprehend. You need somebody else to speak for you. Which, you know, others speaking for you, if they're really good, then you know, it could not be a bad thing. You know, it doesn't have to be a bad thing for others to speak for you, but at the same time, you know, the court jesters at the state level, because they're not actually the judicial branch. They're just the state judicial. It's not the judicial branch of the United States government. It's just the state judicial. So, but they'll have you believing that, no, fuck the United States Constitution. We're going with what the state says for you to do today. which is weird because I was born in the United States and I used to chant USA, USA when we were at the Olympics and shit when I was young. I wanted to be into sports and shit, and I was like all fucking highly athletic, but the only problem was I was different. I didn't speak like everybody else, and I didn't learn like everybody else, and you know, other things. But the thing is about this is, so when you walk into the courtroom with a lawyer, you are in the courtroom with a lawyer, and you are saying, "Hey, Mr. Lawyer, will you speak on my behalf? Thank you. I'll pay you whatever ransom money you want. I know that you're gonna turn around and just take a side with the district attorney after they say, you know, we'll pay you this much money, and you just throw the case or advise your client that you can no longer work for them." But yeah, that don't happen. That's not a regular occurrence, is it? Okay, so say you don't walk in to the courtroom with a lawyer. Say you are a truthful, honest human being that knows the difference between right and wrong and has read a thing or two about the law and are actually pretty damn well versed, but did you get a license for that? Well, anyways, you know, they don't like slaves that read, but fucking shit, if you can read by the age of 4, all of a sudden, you need a license for that. So now you walk in. You do walk into a courtroom without a lawyer, and you are going to represent yourself pro se, and you are going to go ahead and represent yourself with honesty, with truth, with as many facts as you can provide. You're even willing to admit some of your little wrongs, but you know those wrongs were merely infractions and not crimes against a human or their property where you've caused actual physical damage that can be evidenced. But the thing is about it is, okay, so now you've walked into the courtroom without a lawyer. Now they're like, oh shit, this guy doesn't need anybody to talk for him. This girl doesn't need anybody to talk for her. She's probably, has read the Constitution once or twice. We're going to have to use every legality in the book to let her know why her law does not apply. Go, stat, 10-4, hut, hike. Next, all of a sudden, they go out into the fucking courtroom and they're like, shit, you know what, lady? We need to check to see if you're competent. We need to make up all these little things as to why you can't just regularly speak, tell the truth, be honest about the facts, and but you know, instead of doing all that, you have to know all this other weird wordplay. If you don't know the wordplay, we're gonna just like try to act like you're not speaking right in the court, and we're gonna just overlook facts, and we're gonna just basically not even hear the case, because before you even came in here, we decided we was going to try to get you into a deal, but since you don't have a public defender, we can't really talk deals, because shit, we don't even want to talk to you. Any communication would be ex parte, or otherwise some other excuses to why we can't talk to you. So next, all of a sudden, there's another excuse as to why you don't get to use a defense, you know, use the normal law that's been written as a defense, you know. You're too truthful, you can't use that as a defense. Nope. But, you know, because this is their court or whatever. It's supposed to be the public's want of a prosecution of actual criminals that actually harm people, like hurt them and destroy their lives. Yeah, we want them prosecuted in a lawful manner. So all of a sudden, now we got the court prosecuting for us or something, you know. Yeah. We're trying to hang on to this American way when they're not even running the American way. the way the American way was supposed to be, in the way that it was supposed to be. But blah 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 blah. Who gives a fucking shit, I guess, huh? Because we got people out there acting like they're ex posse comitatus, actually fucking telling people why they're legal, why their legal stance is more important than any such lawful stance that you could come up with. And if you come up with a lawful stance that contradicts with their legal stance, they're gonna call you a sovereign citizen, and that's what really matters, right? Everybody else's claim that you're a sovereign citizen matters more to them than whether or not you claim to be a sovereign citizen or not. As a matter of fact, why not just take everything? You know, well, you can't be open and blunt about taking everybody's life, so you have to pick people's lives off slowly as you go and then call it policing. That's another question for another time, I guess, you know. But no, I'd love to talk about that one with people that are logical enough to know that it's wrong to take people's lives just because your legalities say you have an opportunity to, and then they actually take the opportunity, which is sick. Okay, now getting back to walking into a courtroom with a lawyer. So you actually walk into the courtroom with the lawyer, and you're actually asking the lawyer to speak on your behalf because maybe the lawyer might be able to speak better than you. Okay, so he's not going to know your case better than you, but hopefully he's a good guy and actually listens to it. Now, and actually tries to help you, you know. Now, you walk into a courtroom with a lawyer, and the lawyer says, now the judges say, look it, he needed somebody to talk to him. Okay, cool. Now we can shut him down. We can tell him he can't even speak no more, because why did you get a lawyer? Your lawyer is here to speak on your behalf. We don't want to hear a peep out of you, or we're going to charge you with contempt. If you want to say anything, here, write it down on this notepad. As if you have to quit talking for yourself, as if you have to quit defending yourself, as if you have to listen to everything that the judge says instead of wonder whether or not what that judge said was lawful. Because even if it's a judge of the highest order, which is the federal judge, they cannot give an unlawful order. It would be unlawful to give out unlawful orders, such as telling people where to stand, where they can and can't stand, as long as that standing is a lawful stance. Now, meaning that stance has done no harm to anyone, and it just inconveniences somebody. They don't like to hear the truth in many cases. Blase, somebody will say, but you're not talking the truth. No, dude, you're not talking the truth. No, dude, you're not talking the truth. No, dude, you're not talking the truth. Is that what we're going to argue all fucking day long? Or are we going to actually respect others and their rights? This guy, whenever you tell him he's not respecting your rights, he says, I'm doing my job. So doing his job is not respecting your rights. I guess that's how that goes in this country. Is that really how it goes in freedom? Are we going to call this place Freedom Land, like the movies, the twisted sci-fi movies? Freedom Land. And act like fucking all this shit, all this worldly shit is really the basis, or, you know, that our lives don't really matter? I was told that rights are just, you know, ideas, you know. They said, how much does a right weigh? Are you holding a right in your hand right now? It's like, yes. I'm holding my life in my hand right now. I'm alive right now. Are you telling me that I can't be alive right now because I don't have a right to be alive right now? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness was the alive right now. I'm alive right now. Are you telling me I don't have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? As if I don't have rights? That rights don't weigh anything? That I cannot measure my rights with one swift defense?